worked in 89 countries, and I really want to say this. I've done different projects where people all of a sudden, right, the side effect, you're right, they don't have diabetes, their insulin levels, everything, that the test that you're doing with cholesterol, they get better. And it's simply because they're focusing on their life. And I do believe, so I don't know if you know this about me, but since I was in my late 20s, I've studied fungus.
Yes, we're mold people. Love it.
Yeah, I mean,
all the books from the 70s on mycology in my collection here, yeah.
Look up Rex and Rinaldi. They were two of the top researchers. I've actually got to experience, because at the time I was at Pfizer, they launched diflucan, which was fluconazole.
I actually like that stuff.
I actually like that stuff too. Oh my gosh, we're going to be friends.
Totally. Sporanox is a bit better, but I'll take the other one.
I will too. Like, I actually carry that when I travel. Anyway.
Me too. Like, we're totally like.
Yeah. So they had like mushrooms growing out of people's heads in a surgery. They would open people up in the autopsy and there would be fungus and mold. They now understand that with Alzheimer's and dementia, that when they're looking at the brain and they do autopsies, when it's acute, they're seeing fungus and they're seeing parasites throughout the brain. So this has been something I've been talking about. 50% of the people that die in a hospital actually didn't die from bacteria or viruses, but from the fungus that proliferates throughout the body. Doctors weren't treating it, and that's still an issue today. Even with a virus, you get a virus, bacteria, they're treating you. Well, the fungus is growing. You don't get better. I'm sorry, I just got on that's my huge thing, and I feel like no one talks about it.
I sure do. Being a toxic mold guy, I actually did a documentary called moldymovie.com. It's free. You guys can just go see it. I spent about 6 months. We traveled around, interviewed 12 doctors, very credible people, and 12 normal people were just wrecked by mold in their environment.
Oh, yeah.
And anyone who sees that, like, oh, my spouse isn't crazy. And if your doctor sees it, they'll know you're not crazy.
But a lot of doctors don't recognize it. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. Most of them don't know anything
I mean,
about it.
No, literally, when you talk to doctors, they're like, what are you talking about? And I try to educate my friends.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, I went to my doctor and he didn't say you're crazy. He just said that that's not really a thing. I go, it's not just a thing. It's like one of the main causes for autoimmune. But what's interesting is, like, your lab and different things I feel like I've worked on in my career and you've worked on can help with fungus and mold and help the human body, where all of a sudden you're like, I'm better. And I know you know this, but when doctors diagnose someone, that's their analysis, right, of that person. And I'm not talking bad. Doctors have gone to school for a long time. They're amazing people, but your body is your responsibility. And most doctors have not been trained on that.
It's your government's responsibility to take care of your body.